Going towards something entirely different.
Yeah, I'm really scared about where you're headed.
Let's go to something different.
Okay. All right. While Michael's possessed by some crazy fucking spirit over there, this is going to be an interesting day. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wild Wasteland. As always, this is Dean Maldonado, and with me is my, pretty sturdy steed of a companion and a co-host, Michael Johnson.
What's up?
Oh, thank you for acknowledging their existence. They are our beloved fans. All right.
Are you listening to this on iTunes yet? Hopefully. We're still waiting a week.
I don't know. I don't know if Tim Apple's gonna let us on there.
Oh yeah, Tim Cook.
Is that his? Tim Apple was applied way better than Tim Cook.
I just
never
stumbled
heard
onto
before.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
Clever. You just slandered the company we're trying to suck up to.
Yeah. Well, Tim doesn't listen to this. Somebody listens to this, I was told. Like, somebody actually listens to every podcast that they're like, oh, we'll allow it.
That must be an awesome yet sad job.
Oh, that would be the worst job. You have to listen to podcasts all day long. And like,
yeah, but could
you imagine like, but when you're off work and you're trying to like go on a run, you're like, what do you listen to? Like
music?
I would just be sick of it all. I would just blow my brains out.
I feel like that's the perfect job for someone with schizophrenia. Because you constantly just get different voices surrounding your ears.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know which one's real, which one's a podcast, so I'm just not going to listen to any of them. I'm just going to keep doing my thing.
You know, I think I was thinking about this. I think they source it out. Do you know anything about Apple has this program where like you can like upload jobs to their like website and like for like a penny or like 5 pennies they'll like you can do something and like you can pay up to like $1 or like whatever. There's
wow.
There's better paying ones, but
so you can get like 100 laborers.
Yeah, like
I want to build an app.
Yeah. Well, you could
Could you?
Maybe I don't know. No, it's more like I never did it. My friend did it, so it's like second hand.
Oh yeah,
talking about it.
Your friend, wink, wink,
yeah,
nudge.
I wouldn't waste all day.
Wasn't me
doing like penny jobs.
Actually, knowing you would not.
He was actually making like $20 a day. So. When he was unemployed.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He just needed money for beer and cigarettes. So I was like...
Yeah, I mean, they are the essentials. He's like beer, cigarettes, and a gallon of goldfish.
That's true, man. The little crackers?
Yeah.
I love those things.
Not like a gallon of real live fish.
I don't know.
I don't
like
think
how
you could buy those in a gallon.
Can you? Like,
No,
I would just go up to the
always...
store and just like... No,
well, you're purchasing per fish. You're not purchasing how much water you're buying.
No,
man.
you show up with a gallon jug and you're like, fill it up. And they're like, with what, water? Like, no, goldfish.
As many fish as you can cram in there.
How much water do you want here? None.
I need most fish possible.
99% fish.
I brought a tamper so you can tamp it down throughout the process. I know they'll be wriggly, so here's some flour so they won't.
Yeah,
they won't stick together. That'd be good.
Yeah, that would be yummy.
Yeah, you bring it home and you just have like 600 cats waiting for you. Dinner! Slice the side. Go, freedom! God, what a reckless house.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. You were talking about conspiracies earlier?
No. We were talking about terrorists.
Oh, what's going on with terrorists?
I thought it was hilarious. There was a...
There's hilarious terrorists going on right now?
Yeah. There's a 19-year-old British girl. Like she was a UK citizen.
And she moved to the Middle East.
She moved to Syria to join
I heard about
There's
like
ISIS.
3 of them that did that.
Well, this one, she's 9 months pregnant. And she's like, can I please come home?
They're like, no.
And yeah, they're like, no.
Yeah, because like...
Have fun in Syria with your baby.
Because like they interviewed her and she said like some fucked up shit. Like, I guess
and her
feel bad about...
Her parents are like, no, she will be good.
And the country's
yeah, but we don't know about that baby.
What'd that baby do?
That baby pops out of the womb.
What'd that baby do?
Grabs the umbilical cord, strings up the doctor.
Just like
his first words.
Makes a turban out of the umbilical cord.
That'd be much harder than strangling someone with it.
Well, like after he's done strangling.
I guess, yeah, he does have a very small head.
That's true. Babies do have
They're very
small heads.
I saw a picture. This guy I knew from high school, the one like you know one of those people you have on Facebook that you would see passing in the hallway, and then once you all got to college, like you all friended the shit out of your entire high school.
I didn't do that. I refused to be on Facebook up until like 3 years ago when I started doing comedy.
Interesting. Well, for the rest of us, I
saw
for the rest
him.
Of
normal. I know it's not normal.
No, I saw him on there, and I was like, oh wow, look at him. I forgot who he is. I recognize his face. I was like, oh, you're like, oh, that's his name. Cool. And then the picture was him holding the baby.
Oh.
And I was like, looking at it, and I was like, oh damn, wow, that's crazy. He has a baby, you know. And the baby was so ugly. It was just like I almost left a comment.
Oh man.
I was really pushing it, but like it was an ugly baby. It just had like a really long nose that was flattened on its face, and I was like, it looked like your baby ran into a pane of glass.
This sounds like an episode of Seinfeld.
I wish. I mean,
that's actually the exact.
No, with the ugly baby.
Oh, my baby.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. But since I was a child, my grandmother, she was a nurse for a long time, and she worked in a maternity ward for probably like 20 years. And I remember her telling us as kids, because we're like, oh, look at that baby's so cute, when we're like 7 or 8, and we're in that like lovey-dovey phase.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, not all babies are cute. We're like, what? She's like, trust me.
Trust me.
I've seen a lot of them. Not all babies are cute.
That's
Some
true.
are fucking ugly.
Some of them you just want to drown.
Some of them you're like, are you sure that's mine? Can I get a different one?
And I feel like, because a lot of people say like the reason why babies have extreme features or whatever, like giant eyes and like cute everything about them, is so people actually care about them.
Yeah.
Because if they were ugly,
it inspires the cuteness makes you want to take care of it.
Which is like a fucked up thing.
Because they're helpless.
I don't know if that's true.
They're helpless.
Yeah, but there's a lot of babies there's a lot of animals that are born like right as soon as they are born, they're ready to run.
Yeah,
like gazelles can run like 20 miles per hour.
And they look like the adult version of itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, babies don't look like an adult version until they're like old enough to fend for themselves.
Yeah, like 15 or
like 3.
16. Yeah, like even 3 doesn't look like an adult version. Like
Put
maybe
in a little tie, a little blazer. It don't look like a little person.
Put in a little sailor suit. That's a future Marine right there.
Toss it on a boat, throw it out in the ocean, say, "Come on back."
Hey, we'll do this.
Yeah. Go to Sicily, meet your ancestors.
You said, go to Syria, defend your country. Allah Ak baby.
Allahu Akbar, baby. Oh my God.
Die infidel.
Oh God. Well, terrorist organizations may run our world today, but let's look back at the 5th to 15th century today. We're going back to medieval.
Oh
times.
boy, we're actually doing this.
We are. We actually are getting to the meaning of the episode today.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about not medieval times, the restaurant, which I heard an awesome radio ad. Supposedly they have new acts. So
wait, what? They don't just have the same old
jousting. That's what I thought they always had.
Like, what did they invent something new from medieval times? Like, I feel like
maybe they made a paper mache dragon they're really excited about.
They have like laser guns now.
Oh yeah, they'd be crazy.
Like it's like medieval times
sci-fi.
Yeah. That would be
in.
fucking dope. Like horses with like neons and shit and like 80s style like cyberpunk.
Oh my God. Go back and watch Cowboys versus Aliens and you'll hate that entire concept again.
No, that movie was fucking awesome. Dude.
That movie was so shitty.
That movie was really... What are you talking about? That movie was
good. It
made
no sense.
Watch it again. Go back and watch it.
I'm you know what the issue is that I'm a realist.
You are not... You are the most fanciful motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
Oh. I mean, I guess thank you, but
yeah, no, it's
when it comes to cowboys, I'm a realist.
Oh, because the concept of the cowboy didn't exist?
No.
We just mystified it.
It existed. It existed. It was
like
it was a real thing. It was a real thing for like about 30, 40 years. But do you know how many like gunfights and like famous gunslingers there were in the West?
Every single day, 3,000 people.
Like
I watched all the westerns.
Like 9. There were like 9 or 12 gunfights. Because the thing that you don't remember is that bullets were not plentiful. That was the issue. That's why there weren't so many people getting shot up and killed, is because people just didn't have fucking bullets. They all had guns to intimidate each other, but they didn't have bullets. The farmer ran out of the shack. He's like, I'll get you.
I'll get you.
And you're like, oh no, run, Bessie, run. Because you don't have bullets in your 6-shooter, and he doesn't have fucking slugs in his shotgun.
But you don't know that.
No, it's all just standing your ground and looking tough.
All the Southern stuff that's going on right now, it's because they're like doing that from that era, but now they all have bullets, like because it's so plentiful. But if we had a shortage of bullets.
That's why I think I like the movie Dirty Harry so much.
You remember how many shots I fired?
Yeah, exactly.
5 or 6.
He doesn't use very many bullets.
I got to know.
I mean, to be fair, he's not a great shot. When you go back and watch the movie in a very, very, very dark room.
Yeah.
It's the darkest movie possible. Like, if you watch it with a single glare on your television, you're going to miss 98% of the action. Because it doesn't matter where the glare lands. Everything else is pitch black.
I love the first Dirty Harry, man. Like,
it's
those
fantastic.
roof scenes where they're just running. Like,
the soundtrack's on point.
I tried, like, the killer from the first Dirty Harry has, like, a certain song to him. And I tried looking it up online because I was like, man, that's a really good fucking drum beat or something. There's something really good about it that I liked, like the bass line or the drums.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted, like a 3-minute version of that, and I couldn't find it. And I was, like, kind of upset because I was like, man, this is a really fucking good song. It's probably lost the time.
Oh, most likely. My 8th grade science teacher was in a screamo band, and we found his music while we were in his class.
MySpace?
No, it was on some like very early version of what would eventually probably become SoundCloud.
Oh, Clouds in the Sound.
It was 2007. So
it was MySpace.
It was before MySpace. It wasn't on MySpace.
More
though.
Bands because it was probably on Facebook 2007. Jeez, I forget how young you are.
No. Well, 2007 to 2008, it was on some kind of a music streaming site. It wasn't a social networking site.
Yeah, there's so many weird.
It was Bandcamp.
Websites.
That was it. It was Bandcamp.
Oh, Bandcamp still exists to this day.
No, I know.
We're gonna be uploading stuff to Bandcamp.
Are we? We're not even a band.
No, like people produce commentary tracks on Bandcamp, and I was thinking like we could do a commentary track for.
We have to do commentary on things.
Yeah, well, like you don't have to. You can do
I mean, like
I'm
totally down to do that, but
yeah, like for Action Bronson,
yeah.
We do a commentary track of Action Bronson watching.
Yeah, we can do commentary on commentary.
Yeah, if we get 1,000 listens.
Okay, let's stop this. Let's get back to the medieval times.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like they're adding new events.
We are continuing our tour of torture.
Part 2.
Part 2 of torture.
Torture.
So, as I told you on the last episode, if you listened.
Well, that'd be weird if you just like listened to episode 2 and you didn't listen to episode 1.
Wait, you never start a show on episode 2 and just use the previously on to figure out what happened in their terrible promo?
Previously on episode 1 of Torture, we talked about crucifying.
We talked about
filleting.
All torture before the 5th century. So if you want to hear about all of it,
go to the Facebook page.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We have links to things. Maybe I always say that we're gonna do this, but we never do.
What do you mean?
I never link to any of our fucking documents.
I link all. OR.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna link that. No, it's.
Personal.
There's a lot of use of the N-word in here.
Yeah. a lot of racial slurs.
I skip over a lot of it. You're welcome, listeners.
Yeah, I have to censor a lot of it out, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hoo.
Like every other word here.
Well, we're not Lincoln, okay?
Whoa.
Shots at Lincoln.
Yeah,
they always work.
We're a local comic right now.
I don't know. So, we will start with probably the most famous medieval torture method of all time. Because it was used on Guy Fawkes, the guy who planned to blow up Parliament, and also
pronounce it correctly, Guy Fawkes. Because I bet he was fucking. He was getting around, boy.
That's why I wore the mask to
keep his scent off the bitches.
Yeah,
so many bitches just coming by, like, hey, didn't I fuck you? Like, nah.
He needed to keep his fucking game and his terrorist game separate.
Separation is shirts and steak, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Shirts and steak.
Shirts and steak.
But they also used it on William Wallace, who was terribly portrayed by some anti-Semite.
By Red in Wallace and Gromit.
That was all of the wrong references. However, it's being hanged, drawn, and quartered.
Ooh, boy, that's sexy. That's like 3 tortures in one. It's like a deal.
Yeah, it was literally reserved for like the utmost like fuck you specifically from the king.
Like we're gonna hang you, we're gonna draw you, and then we're gonna quarter you.
Yeah, like, literally. That's exactly what happened. So
they hang him by the neck.
Well, so they get the victim is first dragged in a wooden frame. So like they get like
you're in a coffin?
No. They string your arms up and like your head to like this like wooden cross, like your feet and like the bottom of your basically from like ribs down are just hitting the cobblestone streets.
What a dick.
And they drag you through the streets as people throw stones and piss and shit at you.
Oh man.
To the site of their execution. The victim is then hanged for a short period of time.
By the neck?
Yep.
Or just like so you just like
so they hang you by the neck
so
just to break your neck.
Oh man.
But not to kill you. And then they the executioner takes you off the noose. They then lay you on a table and they gut you. Yeah. So they cut your innards out.
Oh, and you can't even feel it because your neck is broken.
Well, you're probably at this point you're entirely in shock. But yeah. They cut your innards out. Sorry, they bring you back to the Tower of London. That's where they drag you to.
Oh man, like where'd they take you to hang you though? In front of the Tower of London?
Mm-hmm. Okay. In a great square.
Because like
they just had to take you back into the dungeon. To do
fine with
surgical parts.
Yeah,
that's where they have all their knives.
Yeah, I'm fine with the torture. I just don't like all the fucking moving around, dude. Just leave me in one spot.
Well, you're not doing anything physically. They're dragging you from here to there. You're not exerting any energy.
Waiting is the hardest part.
That's fair. That was actually a good episode of Your Pretty Little Faces Going to Hell. They exchanged all of their like severe torture for just boredom.
Oh man,
severe boredom. And they're like, that's definitely the best torture
just
possible.
Shows up, just like, what's going on, Henry Zabrowski? Are you bored yet?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, I'd rather just eat some shit or something awful.
Yeah, something awful. But so they bring you down into the dungeons of the Tower of London, which is now a torture museum. Where they put you on a table and they cut your stomach open. They pull out your intestines, so they gut you, and then they cut your testicles open vertically. So they because your testicles are actually like wrapped in a lot of vein.
Right.
And a lot of like veins and stuff like that. So they would take your testicles out and they would unroll them.
Yeah.
And they would put them in a little dish.
Oh.
And then they would cut your dick off and put it in that little dish and then put a fire underneath that dish and they would cook your nuts while it was still attached to you.
Right.
And your dick right in front of you, right in front of your eyes, and they would like force you to look at it, and if you closed your eyes, they would cut your eyelids off. And then after that, they would cut off the balls. They'd be like, ha ha ha. And they bring you outside out into the square.
Yeah.
And they would
they'd draw you. That's the fun part. Like
no,
you get drawn like a caricature.
No. Drawing is the first part.
Oh.
So they draw you, then they hang you, then they quarter you.
Well, why the hell hang, drawn, and quartered? That's really stupid.
Well, because drawn,
hanged, and quartered.
It would have to be quartered, drawn, and hanged, alphabetically. But hang, drawn, and quartered just sounds much better. I don't know. Either way, they bring you out to the square. At this point, you're basically entirely dead.
Yeah, you're just like, dude, But
they're just trying
nuts.
To keep you conscious, and they bring you out and they tie ropes around each of your arms and each of your legs.
The fucking brutal part, yeah.
And one around your head.
Yeah.
And they strap them all to
horses.
To horses, yeah. And they have them all run in different directions and they rip you apart.
Oh, that's fucking brutal. That's I just want to be there. That's how I want to die.
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking brutal. I like that part. Everything else kind of sucks, but
that's what you want. You just want to be ripped apart.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Limb by limb.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
it could be arranged.
I don't want to do it now.
We just need like 4 willing people and a couple of ATVs.
Listen, if I'm dying of cancer,
you'd rather just be
if it's like
you'd rather be quartered?
Yeah, I'd rather it's still like
you just want the Mongolian death?
I'm waiting to die.
Speaking of Mongolian, oh my god. Do you know about the Mongolian death worm?
I do. We have to talk about this one time, but it's not torture.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because I'm inspired.
We haven't done a crypto in a while. The last one we did was Skunk Ape.
That's true. We'll do a cryptic animal. We'll do the Mongolian death worm. I'm
it's
so
coming
excited.
up soon. Yeah. So get your yellow flags ready. And I forget what else. Like, don't eat cinnamon. I don't know. It's something stupid. I have to look into it.
So, last episode, do you remember you brought the Judas Cradle, which I told you not to because it is in the medieval era.
Oh, damn. But I feel like...
Do you want to talk about the Judas Cradle? This is by and large your favorite.
Oh, yeah, this is brutal.
Torture
This is
device.
awesome.
Basically, for the Judas Cradle, they had this harness on top of imagine like a bar stool, right?
Oh, I can imagine.
Like a 3-legged bar stool.
I spend
4 legs.
3-leg. I was about to say, yeah.
Four-legged bar stool.
Spend most of my nights in a bar. Yeah, I can imagine.
But imagine it like to scale, but like 8, 10 feet tall.
Oh wow, that's
so it's big.
How are you gonna get up there?
So it's big.
That's crazy. You have to get like a ladder.
Yeah. And then on top, instead of being a flat surface, it is a sharp wooden pyramid.
Right. Not the most comfortable thing, but if I can drink my beer in it,
and then on top of that, there's a little bar that has like a little clamp to hold your waist.
Right. I just want to sit on it.
That's what you do.
Oh, nice.
So they would harness you by the waist, and they would attach ropes to the harness, and they would slowly lower them onto the pyramid-shaped seat, right into their anus or vagina, based off what sex you were.
Oh, well, at least they were progressive back then.
Well, I mean, it was just more. I mean, like if they could like drill a hole in your taint without like rupturing a lot of different things, it would make you bleed quicker. I'm sure they would have.
Oh,
but they didn't.
That's really nice of them.
And so the downward pressure of your own body weight would, force the muscles to tear. And then once the muscles were gone, I mean, you can't support yourself. And so you just...
This is like a lamer version of the bamboo one that we did last week.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't get more clever.
Right.
They just got more visual.
I just feel like they have more time.
Well, they totally did. I mean, you got to remember, though, is that like
what did people do back then?
15th century. So, I mean, like between these times, there were, probably 9 of the biggest witch hunts of all time.
And also probably like 300 of the biggest wars in modern history.
Yeah. Well,
like
it's because
they
had like nothing else to do.
It's like,
and also after war, townspeople like to do witch burnings.
Yeah.
Because it makes them feel powerful and in control of something. That's why Salem happened.
Yeah. And if anyone different in town, like, hey, that guy,
I think he's a witch.
He's a Jew. A witch. He's a witch. We got to get rid of him.
Look at that nose on him. Must be a witch.
That's true. Yeah, like even like the stereotypical witch of today has Jewish features.
Yeah, like the stereotypical witch compared to like, have you ever seen like the rendering of what Hitler, like with like the actual like Nazi
propaganda
books, portrayed Jews as?
No, I haven't read it.
Oh, it's like bat-like ears, sharp shoulder blades, hook nose, like
Dracula or my father. I don't know which one or the other.
Both, actually. Yeah. Oh my god, Maddie was standing over it. I don't know why we were baked like cookies.
Yeah.
And I was
Dean smokes the marijuana. If you don't know.
Yeah, supposedly that's what they tell me.
Devil salad dealer.
I've never been told I do, but they say I don't.
So you were baked.
We were, and I was trying to get something out of the room before we were going to bed, and she was standing next to the light switch. She got turn it on, turn it on, turn it on. I was like, calm the fuck down, Nosferatu. Like, why are you just hanging out flipping a light switch? Like, this is not a good time.
Maddie has a nose like a demon from 1930s German cinema.
False. It was a reference to
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Boom! He got it. Didn't even have to tell him.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So, speaking of drinking things. Oh, we weren't. I was just drinking.
Oh my God! Just tell the audience what we're doing. We're making a podcast.
That is a pinnacle requirement of actually making a podcast. Is that you have to be drinking actively while recording.
Yeah, just so it sounds.
It's in the bylaws of podcasting.
It's like the first 10 minutes were pretty good, but then they just got drunk.
Yeah. Then they got really racist. It's weird. But so this is called the Swedish Drink.
Oh my! So wait, did we finish the Judas Cradle? Like, why is it called the Judas Cradle, or the Judas Chair?
So, it's actually a very good question. Now, the reason that it's called the Judas Cradle is
because it's deceptive.
God. Oh Jesus!
Uh-oh.
Like the first fucking. Oh God! There's videos on here of people using them.
Oh, don't
Just
Google
blood everywhere.
Don't Google video them.
Oh. Gross. Oh, so it's called the guided chair. That's cute.
Oh.
Sounds like you're a blind man. This is like a golden lab. And they're like, come on, the guided chair is right over here.
Yeah, it'll help you find where you're going. It's death. It's death. It's always been death. And then sit on the chair.
I don't know why it's named the Judas Cradle.
Because it's like a Judas. It's deceptive. Like, hey, I just want to come into the bar, have a few drinks, sit down here on this chair. Oh, no, it's 8 feet tall and going up my asshole. That's not what I wanted at all.
Again?
I just wanted a beer.
What? Okay, in every fucking language, this thing's called the Judas Cradle.
What are you looking up? Like,
I'm trying
how to say it in Spanish?
No, I'm actually just I'm Google searching like a complete and total idiot. I'm like, Judas Cradle, why is it names?
All right, maybe
I'm trying to do this
maybe
quick,
we shouldn't
man.
be drinking.
I'm just trying to do this quickly for you, so you don't have to delete all of our funny conversations.
I just delete the part where you said
that I'm Googling things because I don't want to plug Google. Damn it. Fuck. All right, well, I cannot find why it's called the Judas Cradle, so don't fucking ask me, you piece of shit.
Well,
you gave me 10 seconds and a shitty
put
internet
10 seconds
connection.
on the clock. Phone a friend.
God, I've been watching so much Supermarket Sweep.
Really?
Yeah, I love that show.
I've been watching so much Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but from 1996.
Oh, all of mine is from 2000, so it's actually 1999.
Dun 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 with
Same guy as the 91 version.
who was that again?
Oh, I have no fucking clue what his name is.
Regis Philbin.
Nope.
Where he's like, Who wants to be a millionaire?
Oh, that one. I love that one.
For $800. Am I still alive? Yes. No. Maybe. Not born yet. D, Regis. D on the clock.
My favorite is the
Is that your financial?
when the first question was like, what runs in pipes through your walls? Electricity, water, or heat? They were like, electricity.
Or all the above?
Final answer. He was like, are you sure?
You sure about that, dude?
It's water.
Sure
Electricity runs in wires. Not in pipes.
Well, electricity runs in conduit. That kind of looks like pipe. And heating also can run through pipes.
I know gas heating could, but
gas heating and furnace heating. Which
isn't that also gas though? Isn't that gas based?
No, it's water. There's a furnace downstairs heating water, and the water rises in it.
Oh yeah, oh my god! In the wintertime, it scared the fuck out of me. So we had that.
Oh, this is your first time living in a furnace, or
with these old school like scare the shit out of you furnaces? Yeah. Yeah. So
that's to relieve pressure, else it'll explode.
Yeah. And we got this. It was the cold snap, the polar vortex.
The polar vortex.
It was -65.
Yeah, we still recorded a podcast.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was actually pretty warm in this room.
Yeah.
But
in hell.
I know, I love it. But so I go to turn on my furnace, and there must have just been like a big chunk of ice just sitting in my furnace, because I turned it on. It was like, boom, boom, boom. The whole thing's shaking and jumping, and I'm like, this thing's gonna fucking explode. So I would
have left the room.
So I tried to turn it off. I accidentally turned it higher. And I'm running around my apartment screaming. There's no one else home. And I run back over.
You're fucking baked out of your mind. Like you just put some lotion on. Some fucking.
Who do you think I am?
Some THC lotion.
What?
What's it called? Like there's like a THC lotion that you can put on, and it just like gets you super fucking high.
Sure.
It's like pretty much like acid.
Sure. Yeah.
Have you not heard about this?
I mean, I know there are topical creams, but most of the topical creams are CBD high because it's mostly for actual relief of certain spots and certain muscles.
You want the THC ones.
I mean, for certain things. But most muscular and skeletal pain, you're going to want CBD.
Okay, Dr. Dean.
So calm down.
So what happened? Did you die?
Oh, no, I turned it off and was scared, and then Maddie came home and she turned it on. It didn't even make a noise. And I was
because
off.
You melted all the water.
I guess so.
You're like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And she's just like, there's nothing happening.
I was cowering in a closet. Oh, my God. We did not have big closets. It's like I was 2.5 rooms away.
Oh, no.
In a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
But so let's get back to this. This is a Swedish drink.
Ooh, a drink?
So this was the name given by German victims of the torture during the 30 Years' War.
Now, the 30 Years' War, did that take 30 years?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why it was called the 30 Years' War.
No, it actually took 7 years.
False.
Yeah. No, they just counted years differently back then.
It went from 1618 to 1648.
No. It went from 1618 to 1648. It actually took 30 years. It's still happening to this day.
Yeah, you're entirely incorrect. But basically the Swedish, there we go, Swedish soldiers and mercenaries didn't receive any pay for fighting for their lords because they weren't a country.
The fuck?
So individual lords were trying to pay these people to like defend them. And instead they were told they could loot and plunder the regions they marched through, thus making life pretty shitty for basically anyone who wasn't fighting. And speaking of shit, the Swedish Drink method involves forcing the victim to drink dangerous amounts of foul manure, urine, and other versions of shit, thus making the stomach bloat up to painful levels. But that wasn't all. If the victim didn't answer the questions, they'd stomp on their stomachs and run horses over them until they talked.
This is terrible. Wait, so not only the Swedish plunder these poor people, but then
this was like this is like the German soldiers they were interrogating to get fucking answers out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like random. Because the way that you
sometimes I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Sometimes I'm sure they're like, which way did the army go? Everyone's like, I don't know. They're like, one of you must know.
I don't know. Maybe you don't know. Hey, I got a drink for you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You stole everything from me.
It's a truth serum. Here, lay down. I'm going to shove it down your fucking throat with a plunger.
Get the horse.
Get the tamper. But no, I mean,
this tastes like shit.
Because I didn't write a lot of these things that I'm reading to you, and so I find it funny that the way you worded this, Michael.
Yeah. I didn't write it either.
Well, whoever wrote this, whoever was stealing this exact piece of data
BuzzFeed.
Makes sense then, because they say this is the quote. Speaking of shit, the Swedish Drink method involved forcing the victim to drink dangerous amounts of foul manure, urine, excrete. Now, how much is not a dangerous amount?
I feel like
anything that is like manure and urine and other shit, and it's already foul.
Well, even if it was not foul,
what is and is not a dangerous amount here? Who's measuring this?
Half a teaspoon, half a tablespoon, a whole tablespoon,
16 gallons. Who's to say?
They might have actually put that in there because there's people that drink piss for like.
I mean, it's
cleansing.
Sterile.
There's people that like legit like do this every fucking day. They're just gonna they
just
literally
like bottle
drink
some piss. I'm sure
they literally drink their own piss all the time. I saw it on Tosh.0.
I wonder.
Saw it on YouTube.
What do you think? Like, because if you were to like piss into it, like first piss of the day, obviously you're not going to drink. That's the one that has like all the toxins of yesterday that you're.
That's probably the best one.
No, you don't want to keep the toxins.
Yeah, just keep on. Let this baby ride, baby.
Maybe like second, third, fourth pee of the day, you know.
When it starts to get clearer.
Yeah. What if you did toss it in a mason jar? You know, let it cool down because you don't want to drink anything hot.
No,
like
she drank it. She drank it warm right out the bottle.
That's what I'm saying. What if you like ran that shit through a Brita and then?
I want to say that I've seen people run like stuff like piss and other things through like Brita filters, and
I'm sure it doesn't taste bad.
It just tastes like piss. Like it's. Like it's filtered, but it still tastes like when you run water through it, it still tastes like water.
I feel like when you're drinking piss, I feel like the taste isn't the issue. I think it's all mental. I feel like drinking piss and doing a backflip are like in the same region. Like you just can't do it because you just think you can't do it, and so you make your body just freeze up.
So
you with me on that one?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm not gonna drink someone's. Is this like? It seems like gaslighting someone to like, yeah, come on, let's just like start drinking this piss.
I mean, it can be your own piss.
It has to be your own because you have bacteria in your body that someone else doesn't have, and you could actually get really sick. Like you can use your own shit as manure, but if you use your shit as like manure, and I ate the food that grew from it, I could get like a certain illness.
I don't believe you. Mainly because there are people.
No, they did the science
who have
with.
Certain diseases.
They did the science.
Hold on. There are people with diseases.
With the Mars movie.
There are people with diseases that get a thing called a poop implant, where they take a healthy person's poop and put it up their ass so that they can leech off of it and get some good of some of the good toxins.
This sounds like fucking.
It's real.
Anti-vaxxer kind of science.
No.
This definitely sounds like fake science.
Anti-vaxxer science is like, it's bad. Yeah? Why?
Because it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this sounds like your crazy aunt is saying, like, Dean, I read in the paper the other day that if you shove someone's healthy poop up your butthole, it's a butt clean, and I've been using it for 10 years.
No, I mean, it's only reserved for, like, very specific cases, but it's a real, like, medical thing.
Well, if it's reserved for special cases, I feel like most people don't need it. Just
I would hope so.
Like gluten-free things.
Sure. I mean, I would truthfully hope so. Because I don't want
I want to keep talking about people getting murdered. I don't like talking about poop.
All right, fine.
Well, maybe, yeah. Like,
we'll go to my favorite.
That is pretty brutal, though. Someone, like, forcing you to eat shit and then, like, running a horse over you.
Or just, like, repeatedly punching you in the stomach.
Like, answer the question. You're just, like, vomiting shit and your guts are all fucked
Maybe that's
up.
Maybe that's where the hate phrase "eat shit" came from.
And die.
Yeah. So this one was it's pretty popular.
Okay.
It's used in a lot of modern dramas.
What?
It's in a lot of pop culture. It's in a lot of movies. It's in a lot of TV shows, especially about this time. This is probably one of the most famous things besides being hanged, drawn, and quartered.
This is building up. I like this.
It's the rack. Rack.
Name a fucking show or a movie or anything that's had the rack in it, other than like a goofy like.
Well, the new Jumanji had the rack. Rampage. What? Skyscraper.
Wait, are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, Dwayne "The Rack" Johnson.
Boom, boom.
Hey, okay, so the rack is easily one of the most recognizable torture methods of medieval Europe. Now, the victim would be, they'd be tied by their ankles and their wrists.
Another like the hang, drawn, and quartered one. Like,
I'm seeing a pattern. And they're laying on this device.
Yeah.
And these two executioners would put this big fucking wooden pole in a gear.
Yeah, just fucking crank it.
Crank it, yeah. And the machine would slowly pull
this is fucking brutal.
you in either direction.
Well, two directions.
Yeah, it's pulling you up and down. It's pulling your feet down, your hands up. So
you're getting taller.
You're getting taller until you rip.
Oh, then you're ripped. Yeah, then you got a six-pack. Then you're The Rock.
Yeah, and then you have to learn how to do everything without arms and legs.
That's like if you see The Rock, if you see video of The Rock when he was a wrestler and like in 1998 or whatever, and when you see him today, you're like, how'd he get so ripped? What happened? Tell me his workout. He, if you download that app, the Rock app, where it's like 6 o'clock, bitch, time to get up, and it's like, or 4 o'clock or whatever it was.
Wow.
He's just doing the rack all day, but he eats like 85 pizzas.
I can see that happen.
And you could be that ripped too.
Now,
just need to build a rack in your house.
Yeah, and you have to have 2 medieval torturers come over with a long pole to turn your wooden gears. I guess you could probably get like a clapper version.
You can't do that.
Well, no, because you could just tie your hands like closer together.
Use your vagina.
And then you're just like, and it starts to pull you apart. And like, oh, thank God, another 2 inches.
In my dick.
Just pulling your dick down.
Now, I like the idea of like 2 fat, sweaty guys and like just like a sleeveless black like thing with a hood on. Like, are you ready to get ripped? And I'm just like, yeah, dude, fucking rip me. And just crank me in the morning. Just 2 dudes just cranking me.
Your spine would probably get a nice like.
Yeah, I'm just like
a 30-minute
all your
workout.
Discs
separate.
Yeah, but then they put them back together, and
and you hope none of them slip, and you have a good day.
Yeah, I'll just put like
a safety pin on all of them.
Yeah, just keep them in place.
Yeah,
or some like spandex or something.
So this is one of Michael's favorite.
Oh yeah,
it's rather similar to the breaking to the rack.
The Breaking Bad. What were you about to say?
I was about to say the name of the next one.
Oh.
It's pretty similar to the rack. It was also pretty damn popular, mainly because this one allowed you to do it in a public square, because this was really this was like the big movies of the time, but you never got a repeat.
Tell me about it.
You never had a sequel. It's great.
Yeah, it's like the Jaws of the torture world. Never had a sequel.
Never. No, nor 7.
Nope. The Jaws only had the one movie. It ended. Steven Spielberg was like, "Dude, that was a really good movie."
You know, I watched the other day. Actually, it was 2 days ago, and I was very happy I watched it again. The Mask.
Pretty good movie. They wanted to make a sequel of that, and they didn't. Thank God.
Yeah, they did not make a sequel until they just like
No, they never did it. They never did it.
Yeah, I mean, they did.
No, they
had
definitely
a
didn't.
spin-off.
They definitely, yeah. Well, no,
The
they
Son
didn't
of the
do that.
Mask.
No, shut up. That doesn't exist.
It doesn't have any of the original cast except for the dog.
Yeah, well, except for Jamie. No, the dog is definitely dead.
False.
By that point.
Nah, it's a little
That dog
Jack
would
Russell.
be like 85 years old in dog years.
Those dogs live forever. It's insane. Also,
No, they
he's
just
jacked
all
as
look
hell.
the same. Yeah.
It could be. But this one's called The Breaking Wheel.
Ooh, breaking wheel.
So the victim
man.
is tied to a large rotating wheel. Think of like a wheel off like a big
Yeah.
Wild West carriage. One of
Yeah.
those big fucking spoked wheels.
Oh man, that's pretty brutal. And what do? Like you just get slapped in the face with like a palm tree?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
So they strap you to it, and it's kind of elevated because there's a spoke running through the middle.
Oh, and it goes up your asshole, right?
No. The spoke ends, but so they could spin it.
Oh.
And they can spin it with you on it. And
Uh-oh.
the executioner takes a swing at them with a giant iron hammer.
Swing at what?
The person who's spinning on the wheel.
Oh, just like anywhere on the...
Crushing them on different spots with a giant iron hammer on this big like podium in this big open square so everyone could see the blood spurts and shit. Oh, it was a big, family event.
Yeah, I bet they even like... That was actually... Interesting fact about it. It's actually where the roulette table came from. That, 25 red is one guy's spleen shoots out of his asshole.
On the 25th strike.
Yeah, executioners. Yeah, that had to be a pretty fucking awesome job, but also
it's
suck
a weird
at the same time.
one. You gotta be really strong and just
Yeah.
have like no conscience.
Yeah, and I also heard back in the day, I was reading something or I heard on a podcast or something, but
Can't plug other podcasts on our podcast.
well, I don't remember what the podcast was.
Well, thank God. Don't
I
start
also
listing any.
Go listen to other podcasts instead of this one. I don't know why you stumbled on this one. But they actually used to get tips from the kings or like the princes or whoever, like royalty
Yeah.
that they murdered. So they're like, if you kill me quick, I'll give you like 25 shillings or something. And because most executioners were not good. They weren't strong.
Of course not.
Because it's back then. Like they were like bodybuilders back then.
No.
They're all like weak and they're like Shaggy. There's like a whole society of Shaggies walking around. And
I think they were more like Fred.
No, Fred is like built. Like he's like muscular. He's
he
like
looks
douchey.
like he is. He's got like the big chest, but
Shaggy looks like a fucking idiot. Like
he does.
And I think most executioners are like that. And it's like it took like 5 swings for him to take a guy's head off, and it's just like, that must be fucking agonizing.
Well,
just and embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, that was the worst part of the guillotine is that it was so popular. It was used so often.
Yeah.
That like after a while, like the blade gets really dull, and it would take like 2, 3, 4 chops to get someone's head off.
And the worst thing is that we just killed the guy that knew how to make him sharper.
I know.
So yeah, like the wheel, like this is pretty brutal.
Yeah, the breaking wheel is it's that one's just for family fun, you know.
Yeah, like I wish that they played like really fun music. Well, I want to like.
Sure, there was like a song for it.
Like there's a band that showed up.
Just a barbershop quartet.
Yeah, they played their lutes. Like,
Why is it like a Jack in the Box song?
Because that's funny to me. Like a guy spinning around about to get murdered, and like that is like a good juxtaposition.
Oh. I'm just
like,
thinking way more British than.
Yeah,
You know, like Benny Hill.
Benny Hill's running around like half naked women.
There's one guy with a giant hammer.
Like make an event out of it. Oh. As like tits pop out.
Oh yeah. Boing. So this next one was less for family fun and more just to embarrass and hurt a person.
Oh.
It was called
Divorce.
The Boot.
The Boot.
Or The Boots.
The Boots.
I think they also were called the Boots of Shame.
The Boots of Shame.
Yeah, there were a lot of different names for this
like,
one.
Really,
it's pretty
like,
simple.
Gaudy boots that you walked around with like rhinestones and like you gotta wear those boots. I don't want to wear the boots. I just want to wear my crappy shit-stained brown ones. No, you gotta wear the gaudy rhinestone ones. The Boots of Shame.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but this is actually considered to be one of the most severe and cruel punishments in the world.
Jeez, those boots must be really ugly.
Yeah, so with this method, iron or wooden boots would be placed upon the victim's legs.
Okay.
And a solid wedge would be inserted between the legs and walls of the boots. So basically, these boots are clamps. Imagine like someone takes 2x4s. Nah, make them 4x4s.
Oh, okay.
So they're really strong and they're wider than your leg, and they cinch it together with giant fucking nails on either side. So it's not like actually digging into you.
Yeah.
But
just slowly pressing your feet together.
It's slowly just squeezing your calves.
That sucks. It's like making foot orange juice.
But then, they bind them together so that like you can't pull them apart. But they put a wedge in between your legs and in between the two of them. And then they take a sledgehammer and they hit the wedge deeper and deeper and deeper between the two boots to not only like break your hips, but also squeeze your calves until the muscles explode and your bones break.
Yeah, this is also a pretty brutal picture of this.
Yeah.
Like the guy's like, oh.
Even the guy's like, oh my God.
I think he's coming though, to be honest with you. The way that his hands are and like his mouth. This is some fucking brutal shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't quite understand what's happening here. Like,
they're just fucking with him.
Like, I had to look up the picture to even know what the hell you're talking about because it's like hard to describe what this is. But it's like,
you think I did it justice?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I'm also really bad with like paying attention and like imagining stuff.
So I'm going to go on to our next one, which is called the Scold's Bridle. Now, this is used in medieval times for usually more for men. And then we'll get back to it in the next version, in the next episode of this, which is mostly used for women.
Oh, yeah, get her. Finally, some women. We need more women being tortured.
Women were tortured the same amount, if not more, than some of these men.
Oh, I'm glad. We had equality back then.
We really did. It was pretty equal torture.
Did they get the boots?
Rarely.
You know what? I think they
really
probably like the rhinestones.
Calves.
Yeah.
They have really slender calves. They didn't really work that well.
Why would you get the boots, though? Like, what would you do? Like, oh, you ran too fast. We need to fuck up your legs.
No, I'm sure you were like a thief or something.
Always with the thieves.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the biggest crime.
Yeah, I like the Middle East torture for stealing. It's like, oh, you stole some bread from me.
Oh,
I cut your hand off.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's accelerated quick. Give me your hand.
Hey, it's pretty biblical.
They tried to do that in Aladdin.
Yeah.
If you remember that? It was like, what? You want to steal my hand?
Yeah, you also have to remember that Aladdin was like 26 and Jasmine's 14.
Now I had a friend like you.
So Scold's Bridle, it wasn't it didn't inflict any like pain.
Well, this looks painful.
It was super embarrassing because it was fixed on your head, and they would make them look dumb as fuck.
Yeah, it looks pretty stupid looking with like a goofy mouth. Like,
tomorrow.
You're gonna put one on?
No, tomorrow when we post the first episode of Torture, I'll put up a picture of this.
Okay.
But so the Scold's Bridle, it was really just like make it so you couldn't eat. It was really hard to sleep. People always stared and mocked you. It was very annoying.
Oh, so you'd wear this outside?
Oh, you couldn't take it off?
Why couldn't you just buy a pair of scissors?
Who the fuck has scissors?
Scissors, man? I don't know.
It's the 5th to the 14th century.
Does that sound like invention?
This is where the two terms piss poor and not even a pot to piss in came from.
But the floor is your pot. Well, I get it, but like
no, because piss poor is that you were so poor that you had to sell your piss for money because hospitals and other places would buy people's urine because it was sterile.
Man, that's like the way to make money back in the day. Dude.
Yeah, but you needed a fucking pot. And so if you were so poor...
You couldn't just show up and just piss in their pot?
Nope. You had to measure it somehow.
Like, dude, no, you need to piss in your pot.
Yeah, and then once you fill your pot, we'll give you this many shillings for your pot.
Man, I don't even have a rag to come in.
Sometimes you're too poor to even have a pot to piss in.
Oh, man. If only I had that pot, I'd be making money.
Yeah.
So I gotta start selling my blood to the blood guys, but they don't want to give me any money because they keep saying that I need a pot to piss in.
I feel like nowadays...
we're just so spoiled.
Being piss poor is probably like being
Let's say the
2019 version of piss poor is platelet poor.
See,
you're donating your blood platelets
Oh yeah, I heard about like people that donate plasma.
Yeah.
Like the next step beyond.
Hey, you're
blood.
plasma poor.
I'm plasma poor, bro. I don't even have a blood to plasma.
I can only donate once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like they say, like the middle class today is wealthier or better well off than the kings were back then. So it's
of course, but also, what the fuck else were they spending their money on?
Fucking torture, I guess. They just seem like
they had.
Like, how do you justify torture expense? We need to invent stupid shit.
Well, yeah, you got so you got to think about it, right? Like, what else were these people spending their money on? If you were a king
Go to
back
space,
then,
dude. Like, I don't know, like NASA.
No. Think about this. All right, so in this hypothetical situation, you and I are brothers. It is the year 831.
Fucking sick, dude. Where are we? England?
We're in England. We're in like the northeastern part, not up to the sea. Like, we have a lot of land. We have a lot.
So we're not worried about like Vikings.
No, we're not really worried about the sea. We have pretty good weather. We have a lot of fucking land. And our dad just died, and we decide we're just going to split everything. We're both going to be fucking kings. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'll be a duke. I don't give a fuck.
Fine, you're a duke. I'm a king. We both live.
Give me a pot to piss
in the
in,
castle,
bro.
right? We live in the castle. We have 700 acres of land.
Oh man, that's pretty dope.
On that land, we have 400 families, and in those families, they pay us money and food all the fucking time. They pay us money and food all the time because they live on our land and they work our land.
Do I get to fuck my sister?
You can fuck anyone you want.
No, I need to really fuck my
You can fuck
family.
your sister. Who cares?
Right on, dude.
I don't care.
That's what I want to do.
And in this hypothetical situation, I'm your brother.
I want to be
She's a great lay.
Duke of torture, and I want to have
a
bunch of inbred kids.
And so you have all this fucking money, and you already have a castle. No one's really attacking you. It's pretty peaceful around you.
Brother Dean.
What else are you going to spend your money on?
My brother Dean. The other day,
exotic things.
I was walking in the castle at night when it was dark, and I stubbed my toe upon a table, and it very hurt much. Why don't we invent a torture method around this? Isn't it awful when you stub your toe?
And it very hurt much.
It very hurt much.
All right. So our last torture method really brings a spectacle.
Oh, are we done with
medieval times?
Yeah, man.
They really, while they were brutal, they weren't incredibly inventive. All they really did was just like light variations of older torture methods.
It's like I think I made this same analogy last time, but it's like the old stuff is like iPhone 1, the new stuff is like iPhone 10. It's the same fucking thing, just faster. I guess. It's
just more direct.
Yeah, other than the draw and quartering somebody that's unique. Like everything else just feels like it's like a little bit better than the last one.
Yeah. So this one was really just this was flamboyant. This was, as I told you, they had nothing better to do with their money. So why not invest in torture for when you really need it?
It's impossible to imagine that the fucking bull was from the last episode.
Yeah, right?
Because that's like unique, interesting, and it seems like, the next evolution of torture. Like it's just not how it used to be, man. Like the golden era was before this.
Yeah. So this last one is called the lead sprinkler. Now the lead sprinkler, imagine like a baby's rattle.
Okay, I can imagine.
Like that kind of shape, but make it like 2.5 feet long and made of iron. So it looks like a mace, but it doesn't have like the points.
Okay, so it's just like a ball.
Yeah. But the ball comes in half, and it's empty inside.
Okay.
And the top half has a bunch of holes in it.
Right.
And so they would take off the top half, and the lower half, so the part with all of the part without all the holes, the part without all the holes, is filled with molten metal or boiling water or boiling oil, depending on how much they hated the person.
Oh, okay. All right. Or lava, if they really hate it.
Well, because if they're really going to make a fucking point about this, they're going to display them in the square. They're going to use molten metal so it dries all cool. But
looks fucking metal, looks brutal.
If they're just killing this fucking person in their dungeon, I'm sure they're just going to use boiling water.
Okay. Like when you start phoning it in, just like, oh, God, come on, let's get some piss.
Yeah. And so they would use molten metal or boiling oil or water, and they would put the top part back on, and they would flick it so it would go through the holes, and they would flick it like a sprinkler towards the victim.
Yeah.
Who's like pinned to this fucking wall, most likely. Yeah.
Stop hitting me with pee-pee.
And showers them with all the boiling shit.
Yeah, geez. Probably feels good, though, because you haven't showered at all in your life.
Maybe it was the water.
Yeah. Like,
if it's the molten fucking
well,
metal.
Yeah, it's the metal.
They're like, oh, I'm gaining pounds at a time.
This is really hot, but it's only hot for a second. No, it's like digging into my flesh.
And then Cyborg stands up, and he's like, whoa. Could you imagine? That's like the start of the Cyborg origin story.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger just steps up like, I am the new Cyborg.
That'd be sick.
It's like...
That'd be crazy. They would never do that in 2019 because they would have to recast originally a black character as a white guy.
Yeah, they wouldn't. You can do it the opposite, but you can't do it that way.
Well, he's also like been like always drawn as like a younger, very in shape black guy.
Yeah, he's also like an athlete, high school athlete or whatever. That's
he's usually either a high school or college athlete. He's never over like 22.
Yeah, he's never like.
And now they're gonna have a 60-year-old out of shape Austrian man play him.
If
CGI is crazy, man. It's
I hate that non-comedians run the world. I feel like if comedians ran the world, it'd be like, yeah, of course.
If comedians ran the world, Michael Cera would be actually in Shaft.
Come on, bitch. Get your ass in the car.
Don't make me
I don't know.
bitch slap you. Oh God. Yeah. Don't make me, please. God. Honestly, don't.
That new Shaft one looks stupid, but also pretty great at the same time.
Fair.
It's like black nerdy guy, like, oh, what's going on? And then you got Samuel Jackson, like, man, I'm just trying to make a paycheck. And then you got the original Shaft, like, God damn it, I'm like 85 years old. What the fuck am I doing in that goddamn movie?
All right. So, well, thank you everyone for listening to this version of actually part 2 of our little tour of torture.
Uh-oh.
Next time
we
shall be
no.
Well, we're just gonna be doing more recent torture, so it's gonna be up 16th to 18th century stuff.
Oh.
Now, this stuff is gonna be gory. It's gonna be a little bit less show offy because people are at this point they're 16th to 18th century. We're not really entirely motivated by, hey, who got lynched in the square yesterday.
Yeah, we're like
actually, honestly, we're more motivated by that than we are with like, hey, who got their face obliterated with a massive hammer while spinning on a wheel yesterday.
So this torture is more subtle.
I wouldn't go more subtle.
We're going to talk about the pear next time, right?
The pear?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite, like...
The pear of anguish?
I love this one. Yeah. Like, if you are a fan of torture, which I am...
Please write us. We have an email. It's...
Oh, God.
I'm going to try and say it correctly this time. It's wildwastelandpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts. Whatever you'd like to see us cover. We'll do a deep dive of anything that seems interesting. However...
We already got the next one after torture lined up, though.
Oh, we've got, planned out till 2026. So you can jump in line on this freight train, or you can get the hell out of our way.
Get the fuck out. Yeah. Rolling down the street. Smoking Endo. Sipping on...
Gin and juice?
Mountain Dew and vodka.
It's Baja Blast and Svedka.
Oh shit, we advertised a product.
Fuck.
We're canceled. Oh no.
Go to www.pepsico.com/Baja-Wasteland-podcast-at-gmail-.com
Okay.
/produce to receive $50 to your nearest Whole Foods delivery person. Sleeve.
Amazon really needs your money. Thank you for listening.
Peace and love, man.
Don't join a cult.
No, join ours.
Join our cult.
I was honestly thinking that I'm like, I kind of want to get into Scientology just to see how far up the ranks I can go to figure shit out.
We're putting this podcast they do a deep dive into your life, and if you said anything like this, they'd be like, no, this guy's a fucking idiot.
What,
I want to join the
L. Ron Hubbard is a queer? Oh no, I'm out of it forever.
You're also out of Hollywood now with that one.
Oh shit.
Don't you ever think about politics either?
Yeah, man, L. Ron Hubbard. honestly had like male pattern baldness from the time of like 12.
Yeah.
And it only increased by like 3 inches until he sadly died from autoerotic asphyxiation while watching child pornography. It was such a sad day.
The world weeps.
The world wept.
Still weeps to this day.
Why not? Thanks for joining us. And join cults. I mean, don't. Give it a try.
Unless
it's like heroin. What could it hurt?
Like, our cult is going to be really cool. It's not going to be a death cult. We're not going to ask for any money. We just want people to worship us like gods.
We're gonna ask for some money, but that's just to pay for the T-shirts that we're gonna get. It's gonna be really cool T-shirts and sunglasses.
Yeah, we're helping us pay for this podcast. We're not asking for much. Like, really, it's probably like $20 a month.
Honestly, all of this money is going to go to funding a retirement fund for Jake the Snake.
Yeah, he really needs it.
He still needs it.
And my heroin habit.
Well, that will go away on its own in about 36 days when I give him a little bit of fentanyl. Yay! Thanks for joining us, everyone!
Go fuck yourself.